government to take care of them. Congressman Jason Chaffetz is a Republican from Utah and is a member of the Budget Committee. He's also a surrogate for the Mitt Romney campaign. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Let's talk a little bit about the tax cuts. The president wanting to extend the Bush tax cuts for what they say 97% of all people. Explain to me why that 3% of small business people who make more than $200,000 a year, why would it cripple the economy to raise taxes on them right now?
Well, to hear President Obama and the Democrats say it, we're just one good tax increase away from prosperity in this nation. That's not true. You don't raise taxes in times of such uncertainty. So we're saying let's just keep the taxes the same. And what Governor Romney is saying, let's actually cut the taxes for the middle class. Anybody who's making $200,000 or less as their adjusted gross income, let's take it down to zero, their income on dividends and interest and capital gains. Those types of things actually are pro-growth, pro-jobs, and that's why Governor Romney, I think, has the better case in this scenario.
Governor Romney also wants to cut the corporate income tax. The president does too, by the way. I mean, that is pretty much agreement for both parties. It's just how much and how you close loopholes to do it. But what Governor Romney is proposing, I mean, how do you square what the governor is proposing in terms of cutting taxes even more than they are now, and also balancing our books eventually? How do you square those two goals?
Because at some point you actually have to cut spending. Federal spending is just atrocious. When President Obama took office, the national debt was about $9 trillion. And by the way, in order to get to $1 trillion, you got to spend $1 million a day every day for 3,000 years. So President Obama took us from $9 trillion in debt over to $16 trillion in debt. And if you're going to grow the economy, if people are going to have more income, you've got to have stability in the marketplace. And one of the things that I think President Obama fails to recognize is that when he calls for the extension of taxes for just 1 year, it creates more uncertainty in the marketplace. Capital is resistant to making investments and therefore creating jobs when you have so much uncertainty. Uncertainty with health care, uncertainty with the debt, uncertainty with, hey, we're going to raise taxes on the jobs creators.
Bring in Ryan real quick, because, you know, but a lot of Republicans talk about how the president ran this up. I mean, there are wars in there that preceded the president, Bush tax cuts, which preceded the president, and a financial collapse, which, you know, seeds were sown before this president.
Yeah, look, most of the deficit was inherited by President Obama. But can I just ask, Congressman, I just have one question that's semi-related to taxes here. Yesterday, Haley Barbour, the former Republican governor of Mississippi, called on Mitt Romney to release his tax returns, or at least he said he should. What's your position on that? Should Governor Romney release all of those tax returns? Right now, he's in a very unique position for a presidential candidate. He's only released 1 year and a summary of 2011.
Well, Governor Romney has paid 100% of his taxes that are owed. He's complied 100% what the law requires.
No, I'm sorry, Congressman. I was just asking if you think he should release them, not whether he's complied with the law. Should he release his tax returns?
I think he has released the tax returns.
More of them. We need more of them.
Just yes or no, should he release them or not?
No, I don't. Okay. I think he's been very successful.
Why shouldn't the American people see those?
He's been very successful. He's released everything that is required to release, including paying more than 16% of his income to charitable giving. So I think it's a diversionary tactic. Most people, they don't care about this. Governor Romney's been very successful. Get over it. It's the reality. He's been successful. That's the kind of guy that I want president.
But is that why he's not releasing them?
Turn the economy around.
Is that why he's not releasing them? Because he's been so successful and he doesn't... What does that have to do with not releasing his tax returns?
He's doing everything that's required by law. He's had these things in blind trust for a number of years. He was the governor for 4 years. He's one of the most well-vetted people out there, and he's done everything that's required by law.
But he's not as well vetted as previous presidential candidates because he hasn't done what they did, which is release all his tax returns.
No, I totally disagree with you. Let me go back to your first premise. The very first thing you said is that President Obama inherited all this debt and deficit. That is not true. Since Barack Obama took office until now, there are more than 133,000 additional federal workers on the federal payroll. The Democrats had the House, the Senate, and the President for 2 years. That's why the debt has gone from $9 trillion to $16 trillion. That's why we pay more than $600 million a day in interest instead of having that money going to something that would be more productive.
I want to, should we continue to hammer on the tax returns or not? I mean, here's my question about the tax returns. I mean, to me, maybe they're going to show just how wealthy he is. They're going to show just how the tax code favors people who are very, very wealthy, and allowing tax experts to go over it, and journalists to go over it, and Democrats to go over it, and opponents to go over it. It just raises more questions for this candidate, all legal, quite likely all legal, than just taking the heat for not releasing them, don't you think, Congressman?
Well, he had the head of the IRS, the former IRS commissioner, has actually reviewed the Romney taxes. Nobody's ever suggested that he's done anything other than pay 100% of the taxes.
No, I don't think anybody's suggesting that. I think what they're saying is that it would show the tax code in this country. There's a big argument about the tax code favoring people with a lot of money.
Well, look, Governor Romney, if he becomes president, Romney has said on day one of the things he wants to do is broaden the base, lower the rate, get rid of these corporate loopholes. Right. He understands this as much as anybody. The success of a Romney presidency is going to be on his ability to create opportunity and prosperity for the middle class. He's already been successful. We all understand that. What I like about Governor Romney is he wants to create that success and those opportunities for the rest of the nation. That's not happening right now, and that's the difference between Governor Romney and President Obama.
Congressman, it's always nice to talk to you in the morning. Thank you for dropping by, sir. Have a good day. Let's get on to Allie DeVelshi for the rest of the day's stories. Hi, Allie.
Oh, what? You're not going to ask me about